Update. Am I the a-hole for getting hurt and upset over a harmless prank that my husband pulled? Original post. So me and my husband have been married for 5 years. We are currently female 24 and male 33. Way before we met when I was 16, my mom's house had a house fire that burnt literally everything down, and sadly my childhood cat was also killed in it. I remember my mom and brother waking me up screaming, "Fire! Fire! Get up! Get up!" We crawled out under the smoke, and luckily my neighbors had already called the fire department and they pulled us out. We lost literally everything. We were devastated. So that was a while ago, but it still really scares me. And I checked outlets and our stove and candles and everything all the time. My husband knows this about me. So 2 nights ago, I went to bed early because I am currently 34 weeks pregnant, literally about to pop. I was sleeping for a while before, for some reason, my husband decided to wake me up by yelling, "Baby, there's a fire! Fire, fire, fire! Get up!" As quick as I could get up at 34 weeks, I did, and grabbed my purse. I was just in automatic shock and just autopilot and knew what I needed what to grab. I made it all the way down the stairs, yelling for my husband to follow me before he started laughing and telling me it was a joke. It took a minute for that to process. I stood there with an open mouth while he laughed and ushered me down the rest of the stairs. I sat down on the couch and just started sobbing. It was genuinely the hardest I've ever sobbed. It's like I couldn't get myself to stop, and my whole body was shaking. My heart was racing and I couldn't breathe. I have never had this experience before. I was genuinely so panicked. I was so freaking upset. My husband apologized and was like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. It was just a joke." I just cried until he eventually was like, "What the heck? It was just a prank. This is really dramatic." After a few hours, I had calmed myself down and went to apologize to him. He wouldn't take it. He said I was being overdramatic and made him feel like crap for a harmless prank. So I guess, am I the a-hole? I've never been good at taking jokes. I've been trying to be less sensitive, but I don't know. Not the a-hole. What the heck is wrong with him? Using her past trauma for a prank? What the heck is wrong with him for making an expectant mother fear for her life just for shits and giggles? What the heck is wrong with him for putting the burden of guilt on you when his life and death joke made you upset? What the heck is he thinking, making a half-asleep, very pregnant, probably off-balance, and terrified woman rush downstairs? The stress and adrenaline could have sent her into early labor. OP should let him know his prank endangered her and the baby. Dramatic for her crying? He's lucky still breathing after pulling that despicable stunt. The adrenaline and cortisol released actually does affect the baby. There are studies that prove that too many of these hormones during pregnancy can cause the baby to have lifelong health issues, including and not limited to neurological issues, gastrointestinal issues, heart health, mental health, etc. And then the husband is going to cry because OP is making him feel guilty. Because the whole entire world revolves around him. If he has to feel guilty for a minute for doing something super crappy to his pregnant wife, well, damn it, he's going to turn that right around on her as fast as he possibly can. It's like her past traumas there just for shit and giggles in his mind. And pregnancy hormones aren't even a thing he's remotely aware of. OP should take a break from her husband, at least until she can get this baby born, because this is just sick. No, you're absolutely not the a-hole. That wasn't a harmless prank when he knows your past trauma. It also wouldn't have been a harmless prank even without that trauma because you are pregnant. The adrenaline spike from something like that could have easily sent you into preterm labor. And while I'm sure you feel ready to pop, you're not yet full term, and the baby's lungs are the last to develop. He's definitely the a-hole, but more than that, that was psychological abuse. It was not a prank, it was not funny, and it very well could have done physical harm as well. And now he's trying to gaslight you into thinking that you're the problem? Please be very careful and keep yourself safe. When I read what he did, my first thought was, this is not a harmless prank. I know babies can survive outside of the womb at 34 weeks, but the risk of complications is so high at this stage still. He literally put his wife and child's lives at risk for a joke that isn't even funny. Now for the update. A month ago, I posted my first post, which is still up on my account. I was terrified and hurt and confused, and the comments really helped me sort through everything going on. A week after that incident, I went into preterm labor and gave birth to my baby at 35 weeks. A week after that, my husband beat me unconscious when he caught me Googling the signs of an abusive marriage after he coerced me into 6-week postpartum. Today, I filed for divorce and secured a restraining order on him. My husband will never lay a hand on me or my baby ever again. I cannot confidently say that I would have made that decision without the help of my original post, so thank you so very much. I think maybe people do not realize how much you can help a stranger on the internet, but you can. And all of you did. I will be the woman who leaves after the first time. I will be the best mother I can be, and that starts with leaving him. Thank you. Holy crap. That went from 0 to 1 million in an instant. Glad you're out of there. Never look back. I know, right? That beat me unconscious segment was such a random shock. Freaking hell. What a POS. Unfortunately, that kind of escalation is common. Women are in the greatest danger when they leave. It's why so many people give tips like, don't let him know what you're planning. Set aside some money, get everything ready, leave when he's not home. This guy had major red flags. Once she started to see them, he stopped with the manipulation and psychological tactics and moved on to the physical tactics. OMG, a week after? I am so sorry this happened. I had stitches, so I could hardly go to the bathroom. I couldn't imagine having sex. I'm so glad to hear you're safe and got out quickly. Smart move. Good luck, OP. Same, I read that and did a full body cringe. It took way more than the 6 weeks for it to not hurt down there. He's such a piece of crap. I hope you had him charged with assault as well. To protect your future custody, please press charges. If you don't, he could easily get visitation and possibly 50-50 custody. You do not want to have to co-parent with this POS. Having documents that show you pressed charges, even if they don't stick, can go a long way. Amen. As a DV victim who has children with my abuser, yes, you have to do this to protect your children. I didn't get the chance to because I did not take pictures or file a report with the police. I also didn't think he would ever hurt my children. Now he plays the same mind games and is so mean to my children. I fear for their lives every time they are with him. Please, please, please listen to this advice to protect your peace and child's life. Next story. Am I the a-hole for locking my girlfriend out of the basement so I could eat in peace? I am 39 and male. My girlfriend is 41. We have lived together for a bit over a year in my house. During the time that I have lived with my girlfriend, I've become very used to the fact that she really seems to distress by complaining. Much of this complaining is about other people in her life, such as her mother and her former co-workers, but much of this complaining is about me and how I'm not meeting her expectations in one way or another. I'm generally fine listening to her rant and will make all the appropriate motions to show that I'm listening. But a few months back, her complaining increased significantly in frequency. Again, I'm happy to listen to her, but the one time that I do not want to listen to complain is when I'm eating. Breakfast time isn't an issue because she's still asleep when I eat it. And lunchtime is fine because I work 6 days a week and I'm out for lunch. But I would really love nothing more than to just have a quiet dinner. It's especially irritating because she gets upset when I don't answer her fast enough, even when I'm chewing. She'll start saying, hello, hello, hello. Are you even listening? As I try to swallow the food quickly and answer her. I expressed this to her a few months back. I put it as nicely as possible with the excuse that I don't do well with talking during mealtime. If anything, it has had the opposite effect. I'm convinced that she's actually timing her complaints to begin when I start eating dinner now. While I'm making my dinner, she'll be quiet. And when I sit down waiting for it to cool, she'll be quiet. But once the fork reaches my mouth, she'll immediately start complaining. Last Saturday, I told her that I couldn't deal with her complaining during dinner time anymore, and that if she did it again, I would start eating elsewhere. She responded, yeah, okay, fine. Then she sat down at the table and stared at me. When I took my first bite, she said, "Oh, by the way, today you kicked one of my shoes when you were putting yours on. It made me feel like you only care about your own things and not mine." I stood up and went down to the basement to eat, locking the door behind me. I've taken to doing this for every day since, and she'll bang on the door at times. At other times, she has demanded I give her a key, as I have the only copy. Today she was literally crying and begging me to eat dinner at the table, but I said no. Now she's threatening to take the door off its hinges while I'm at work, so I know I have to lock it from the outside before going tomorrow. Am I in the wrong here? Now for the comments. This is so toxic. Please end this ASAP. I was reading and wondering why it has taken him this long to just tell her, "Shut up and we are done. Move out ASAP." I don't like whiny people at the best of times. When it is my me time, which I have pointed out, I find them intolerable to the extreme. Because people who avoid conflicts, people pleasers, and people who are too friendly often end up in abusive relationships. They just never learn to stand up to themselves. And then when you start standing up, they don't like it and get nastier. Why are you with someone this miserable? I cannot imagine listening to someone complain every mealtime, all day, every day. Are you really going to do this for the next 20 years or more? Yikes, not the a-hole. It's not even about her being miserable. It's more about her engaging in emotional abuse. A partner who constantly complains and blames is abusive. I can completely understand someone might want to confront a partner for one reason or another at times, but the fact that she actually decided to go into a tirade about him accidentally kicking her shoe when he put his own shoes on just shows she'll complain about literally anything. There's also the fact that even after he asked her to stop for the short time it takes him to eat dinner, she completely ignored him and intentionally timed her complaining for when she knew he didn't want to listen to it. I cannot understand why some people in this post seem to think OP is wrong. I know this doesn't apply to you, but some people are suggesting that this is his fault. The man is in an abusive relationship. The time to leave was ages ago, but now is the second best time. When someone threatens to take a door off its hinges, the relationship is over. You locked her out of the basement. That's a good first step. Now do the same with the rest of your house. Be careful, or she might threaten to take the front door off its hinges too, lol. He better takes that serious, as she sounds like a professional of Unhinge. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my ex-wife's new husband to leave me alone and focus on her being obsessed with me? I, 33 male, was married to my ex-wife Cindy for about 6 years until I found out that she was having an affair with her current husband Jake. And they got married immediately after our divorce was final. Now that you lovely folks are caught up, let's get to the issue. Last week my ex texted me out of the blue and was telling me she's unhappy with her husband. I simply ignored the messages until her husband Jake showed up to my house ready to fight me because he saw what my ex-wife sent me. Mind you, I hadn't even viewed the messages, so I decided to view them. And the messages were basically videos of her twerking naked that I showed her husband and told him, "You need to be more angry with your wife because you noticed I didn't even respond, but you over here mad at me." He left after that, and behold, the witch in question is now mad at me. So am I the a-hole? This incident didn't require a post is what I think. I disagree. If Opie never posted this, I never would have had the opportunity to give Opie the following advice. Opie, your only option here is to assert dominance. Make your own naked twerking videos and send them to the husband. It's the only way to resolve this. Nah, raise the bar. Send one to him where you're staring very intensely at the camera while furiously self-pleasuring through a video. Not a-hole. Oh geez, an unfaithful ex-wife is looking to step out of her new marriage? Who would have guessed? In other news, the sky is blue and water is wet. How you get them is how you lose them. Cheaters are gonna cheat. Affair partners don't win in the competition. They're just a layover point until the next affair. Not the a-hole. So, she's realizing her soulmate, fantasy prince, white knight isn't so great after all. The affair partner, now husband, was a fool to get involved with her in the first place. Not only was she cheating on you with him, she was also cheating on him with you. Just your mere existence in her life was enough. She was cheating on 2 men at the same time. Next time you see the fool, tell him that and thank him for taking her off your hands. If they will cheat with you, they will cheat on you too. And she already has. She's his adulterous problem now and not to bother you anymore. You need to block her everywhere. If you have children together, use a parenting app for communication about the children only. If no kids involved, block them both everywhere on everything. You're divorced now. There is no reason to keep lines of communication open with her anymore, unless children are involved. Last story. Am I the a-hole for not staying up to book my girlfriend a taxi? My girlfriend was going out with friends on Saturday. There was an event on at the club in town, so they were going for food and then a few drinks, then going to the club. She asked what I was planning for the evening, and I said I'd likely just have a couple of drinks, order some food and play video games, and watch Netflix and have a nice chilled night. She got a bit annoyed and said she might have asked me to pick her up, but I can't if I'm drinking. I said she could always get a taxi like she usually does. She asked if I'd book it for her and I said I would if I was awake, but that there's a good chance I'll already be asleep. She said I should wait up then, but I just pointed out the club night finishes at 3 a.m., so I'm not waiting up until 3 just to possibly book a taxi. I pointed out she's more than capable of sorting out her own taxis. She said she wasn't asking for much and that it's only one night, but I just said she can't expect me to sit around waiting for her. She just said again that she wasn't asking for much and I should be fine with helping her. I told her again to text me when she's finished, and if I'm awake, I'll book a taxi. But if not, she's more than capable of booking it herself, or getting a friend to book it. Am I the a-hole for not staying up to book a taxi? Who broke her arms and fingers and mobile device? Why can't she book it herself? Pretty sure you can book a taxi ahead of time too, at least where I live you can. Not a-hole, she is though. I am thinking she wants to power play here. Basically, she is trying to see if he would fold on a night she is off having fun out with her friends, while he is sitting at home by the window waiting to book a taxi to come back to him. I'm actually petty enough that I would not book it, but will also still be awake when she gets back. Whatever she says to that, my response would be, you did it yourself and got yourself home and the world did not stop spinning. Also, isn't this what Uber was designed for? Helping drunk partygoers get home? Not a-hole OP, but your girlfriend sounds a bit like a piece of work. My limited view at all. If she can manage to get into a club, she can manage to call her own damn cab. Not the a-hole. Bro, she just doesn't want to pay. I don't think it's gold digging. I think it's game playing. Sometimes people, especially younger ones, will either with full awareness and deliberation or unconsciously come up with little tests and tasks for the people they are dating to do to prove their love and devotion to them.